Welcome back, everybody, to another Police Cam Reactions video. Tonight we're going to be doing something just a little bit different. We're going to be reacting on the top 10 prison breaks caught on camera. Now this is going to be pretty damn cool, I think. There's some smart motherfuckers out there, and all they got is time. You know what I mean? So they can think some good shit up. That's for sure. But don't forget to like and share. And please do not forget to subscribe. That way I can hit my goal of 1,000 subscribers. So let's go ahead and get into this.
Ever since prisons were invented, it seems people have been trying to break out of them. Most prison breaks are planned and executed in secrecy, with guards just knowing of the breakout after the fact. But then there are these. Today you're going to see the top 10 prison escapes caught on camera. Number 1 is something else, so stick around to find out just what it is and tell us if you're willing to go through such lengths to escape prison. With all that said and done, let's begin, shall we? Number 10. A window of opportunity. Derek Estelle is the type of man that wouldn't let any opportunity pass by him. He is also a firm believer of the old adage, when a door closes, a window opens. So, back in 2013, when Estelle found a window of opportunity, he jumped through it. Literally. It was literally a window. Officers were busy with a man who was just recently arrested. While the officer stepped away from the booking area window, Estelle, with all the agility of a cat, jumped the counter and ran out the door. A woman, identified by police as Tamara Upshaw, was reportedly waiting in the parking lot for Estelle with the passenger door to her car open.
Like that, that is so funny because those windows are only like a foot tall. Like you have to be a little guy and be skinny. Like that one there looked like it was maybe 18 inches instead of a foot, but usually, they're only about a foot. So you'd have to turn your head sideways and everything to get through there. That was pretty slick. That was pretty slick. Then he was probably on the phone with his old lady, waiting for the opportunity. You know what I mean? That's fucking crazy.
One officer slid through the window as well, with the intent of capturing Estelle, but he
was
far
too
late.
There too.
He did make it to the car while it was pulling away, and he even tried to bust a window, but failed. Estelle then went on to elude police for an entire month before he was cornered by the police in his girlfriend's house. Oh, did I mention that she was also his getaway driver? Hopefully they're still together.
Now, he was smart as the way he set it up and got out. He's a fucking idiot to go to his girlfriend's house that helped him break out in the first place and hide out. That was retarded. That was stupid. Oh, man. I'm surprised he made it a month. Shit.
In prison. Number 9. Escape via helicopter. These escapees seem to have watched a lot of movies because their planned escape seems ripped right out of the script of one. However, unlike their movie counterparts where everything went smoothly like clockwork, their attempt was, well, kind of awkward to look at. Their escape started well enough. You can see the two escapees scaling the side of the prison with the use of a rope which was tied to a waiting helicopter parked on the roof. The thing is, our two daredevils were having a hard time climbing up, much to the frustration of their accomplices on the roof, who took the time to hijack a chopper and its pilot just for them to escape. In the end, they decided to just cling to the rope while the helicopter flies away, with the two of them dangling underneath. Funnily enough, though, prison authorities were 100% aware of what was going on. They just didn't do anything right away, even stating that it's only in the movies that you can shoot down a helicopter with a handgun. In any case, these flying bandits were caught just a few hours after escaping. Number 8.
That was pretty smart, but, I mean, you would think that if you're in jail, you'd be buff, ready to climb a rope. That rope looked real little. So I would have probably did the same thing. I would have probably just tied me a little loop at the bottom, stuck my foot in it, and said, go! That's what I would have did, but, hey, that's me. That was pretty slick, though.
Walked out of there. Most of us think that prison escapes are planned endeavors which require months, sometimes even years of careful planning that often involves one sort of convoluted process or another where everything needs to happen exactly as planned, or you risk utter failure. No one ever thought it would be as simple as walking out of 2 unlocked doors, however. And that's exactly what happened back in November 23rd, 2009, when Tori Smith just decided to walk out of prison. She had been arrested on charges of aggravated battery after a confrontation with her boyfriend and was at a temporary intake center waiting to be processed when she escaped. As you can see in the video, an officer entered the prison forgetting to lock the 2 doors behind him. Smith saw the open doors and just walked out. She ran outside and managed to get over the locked front gate. I'm pretty sure that the officer who left the door open was fired for this blunder. Smith didn't escape the long arms of the law for long, though. She was recaptured only a few days later. Number 7.
That's crazy. You know for a fact that cop, or CEO, whatever you want to call him, he definitely got fired. I 100% believe he got fired. Pretty slick though.
Another window of opportunity. Are you willing to risk everything, including breaking your own neck, just to escape from prison? Well, the next person on our list seems to be. This guy shown handcuffed in the video seemed not too thrilled about being arrested by the Rock County Sheriff's Office in Milwaukee. So, when an officer left him alone in an interrogation room, the 17-year-old immediately dove headlong, with his hands cuffed in front of him, according to the video of the incident, out a window. The only problem here is, the window is about 10 feet high from the ground, and all indications lead to an extremely rough landing. As if by some miracle, the teen was able to land safely and sprint away from the scene. Authorities only found out about the jailbreak when an officer finally checked up on the locked-up teen a full 12 minutes later. As daring as his escape was, he didn't exactly get that far. He was again arrested 3 hours later trying to hide out in a friend's house. Number 6.
That's crazy.
A walk in the park. Now,
that is nuts. You're going to jump out a 2-story window, and he literally went head first. So he could have broke his neck and got killed. You know what I mean? Like, that's the way my brother passed away, was he had fallen off a bridge and broke his neck, but that dude could have went through the same thing. That was kind of stupid in a way.
Now, these guys made breaking out of jail look like a walk in the park, and who knew that the only thing you needed to open a locked door was a key? Surveillance video from inside the jail shows 31-year-old Aaron Clark, 24-year-old Ricky Sina, and 28-year-old Victor Apodaca walking down a hallway before one of the men appears to take out a set of...
I guarantee you they had help. I guarantee you they had help. There's no way. How you going to get a key and make the key? And this looks like a jail, not a prison. So they don't have like shop class and shit in jails, at least not any of the ones that I've known of. In prisons they do, so but this looks like a jail. Let's see.
Keys and unlock a secure door, making a break for it. Another camera in the alley outside the jail also caught the trio, just casually walking away. Now you might be asking, where in the world did the 3 get the key to open the door? Well, it seems like they had an accomplice, which turns out to be one of the guards that was supposed to be keeping them in the prison. A camera in the control room spots jail guard Serena Dodson alone. She seems fidgety and nervous, and with good reason. She was the one who gave the trio the keys. The 3 were subsequently rearrested 5 days later, and charges were filed against the jail guard. Number 5.
They found them a sweet little hook in there and reeled her in, or a fish. You would call that a fish. And they reeled her right in and walked right out. That's genius. I mean, it happens all the time. But usually they get them to bring like tobacco or drugs or something in instead of helping them escape. You know what I mean? But it's crazy. Alright, now we're Master of Disguise. Looks like a... What the fuck is going on with that? Her face. What?
The Master of Disguise. Remember when I told you earlier about escape plans that are so convoluted that if one thing goes wrong, everything else fails? Well, this is an example of one of them. Inmate Flavino da Silva thought he had the perfect plan to escape from prison. Honestly, I don't blame the guy for trying to escape, as he was set to stay in jail for 73 years for drug trafficking. Anyway, his escape plan was nothing short of what the Mission Impossible guys would do. First, he had his daughter visit him in his cell, bringing him the things that he needed. An extra set of his 14-year-old daughter's clothes, a wig, and, get this, a one-off silicone mask made to look like his daughter. The plan was, pretty obviously, he would put on the disguise and walk out of prison as his own daughter. Sounds like a good plan, but I'm sure you also noticed the one fatal flaw. He would have to leave his daughter behind bars in his place. And, of course, no matter how you disguise her, a 14-year-old girl would never pass off as a 42-year-old hardened criminal. Needless to say, he didn't get far. He wasn't even to get past the first line of guards. The clip you're seeing is him taking off the disguise in front of the guards. Number 4.
That was very, very smart. You know what I mean? Like, imagine how much money they spent just on getting that mask made, because it would have had to been perfect. But you could tell, like, just by looking at him, you know, like, something was off with his face. You know what I mean? It looked weird. But the dumb part there was he tried to go as his 14-year-old girl or daughter. So that means he's going to be a whole lot bigger than her, you know what I mean? So, you know, like, before he done that, he should have went through and lost a shit ton of weight to make sure he was real skinny. But here's the fucked up thing is he left his daughter behind in the cell. Like, really? That's crazy. You're going to risk your daughter's life just to get out. That's fucked up, man. That is fucked up. Alright, let's go through the ceiling.
Through the ceiling. While some prison escapes are well-planned and well-thought-of endeavors, some just, well, for lack of a better term, wing it. Why some people think that a plan like these would be effective, I don't know. I guess there are some inmates out there that believe that the simplest plan to be the best. Case in point is 28-year-old Blaze Ayers, who was, at the time, detained at the Jackson County Sheriff's Office in Indiana. He decided he would make a break for it, but he had no place to go, so he decided to lock himself up in the medical room. It took a while for the officers to break in, but when they finally did, he was gone. Ayers had climbed up to the ceiling, hoping to find an exit without being detected by the officers. But of course he didn't account for all the noise he was making, so the officers knew exactly what he was doing and where he was. He also didn't account for something else. Ceilings aren't meant to support the weight of a fully grown man. Eventually, he crashed down to the floor in front of the waiting officers armed with tasers, but not before getting entangled in electrical wiring. Number 3.
Now that one, I wouldn't even put that one on this video, because he never escaped. He never got out. So you wouldn't consider that an escape. You would consider that an attempt to escape. So my thing is how the hell did he lock himself in the medical wing? And like, yeah, like, there wasn't no other officers there that had a key to get in there. Like, that sounds not right to me. You know what I mean? I think they probably locked him in there, and he went up in the ceiling, and when they came back, he was gone. That's how I think it really went down. So let's get on to number 3.
Escape via bulldozer. Inmates in a Denmark prison love football. They love it so much that when a much-anticipated game was happening in a stadium that just so happened to be near the prison, they just had to try anything to escape, just to watch the game. Cue the bulldozer.
Really?
Although nobody really knows who drove the bulldozer to break down the prison walls, it basically did its job. This allowed about a dozen inmates to escape in order to watch the game. The mastermind of the whole thing wasn't caught as well. It's a good thing that news crews around the stadium, because they saw the bulldozer and immediately ran towards the prison to check out what was happening, thus gifting us with this crazy footage that we're seeing today.
That is crazy. He literally drove the bulldozer through to break out the people so they could go watch a soccer game or a football game. Like, really? I mean, that's actually kind of genius, but I would be afraid to, like, get shot driving through the fucking wall, you know what I mean? I'd have that some bitch armored up. Big time.
Now it's time for the day's best pick.
Oh.
And for today's best pick, we have a prison break that you would have to see to believe. It's nothing short of a scene ripped right out of the pages of a comic book. Number 2. A fantastic escape. We've seen some pretty daring escapes on this list, but this one borders the realm of the impossible. So much so that if it weren't captured on video, you wouldn't have believed it even remotely possible. A slender Russian inmate identified as Rustam S., 25, has been caught on surveillance footage breaking out of his jail cell at a detention facility in the town of Izberbash in the Republic of Dagestan in southwest Russia. Reminiscent of the Fantastic Four's Mr. Fantastic, Rustam can be seen squeezing through the slot in his door, which is usually used to give food to inmates. He is completely naked as he is seen struggling to push his lower half of his body out of the slot through most of the video. He manages to push himself out quickly, putting on his underpants and the rest of his clothes. It has been unreported if Rustam was recaptured or if he even made it completely out of the facility, but we have this amazing footage depicting his snake-like escape.
He was all like trying to squeeze his ass cheeks apart and shit to get out. Now I know those holes ain't even a foot. They're like 8 inches, if even 8 inches. Like that had to hurt squeezing through there because it's almost impossible. Well, now it is impossible. Now they only make the openings like 5 or 6 inches now, so it's impossible now. But that's crazy, especially in the country that they're in. Like they don't fuck around in their prisons, man. You get put in their prison, you will not be back because you will hate it. Their prisons suck. I'd escape too.
Before we move on, I've got a little challenge for you that'll take 5 seconds to complete. So here's the deal. You just leave a like on this video, smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell, and you will get 25 years of amazing luck. Try it. It really works. Number 1. A smelly predicament.
I'll have to remember that. Put that in all my videos from now on. But let's get into this smelly predicament.
If I were to be sent to prison, especially if I'm looking forward to being there for a long time, I'll be the first to admit that trying to escape will definitely cross my mind. But if you present me with a plan as smelly as this one, I'd rather be locked up in jail for life rather than trying to go through with it. You'll know why in a bit. In this video, a Brazilian prisoner has supposedly tried to break out of jail by going headfirst down a communal toilet. The man's gross escape was caught on camera in a video which shows him covered in poo from head to toe. This man clearly got inspiration from Andy Dufresne's famous scene in The Shawshank Redemption, where a memorable scene shows him bursting free from a sewage pipe. This attempt was less successful than the films, however, as 2 men are seen grabbing the almost fugitive and pulling him out.
Ugh. Could you imagine trying to climb through a fucking ship pipe? That's ugh. I'd be puking just the smell of it. That's horrible. Nasty. Smart thinking, but ugh. I don't think I could do it. I mean, if I was a little different when you're in there, you probably would do it if you were in prison, but out here, definitely not. But if you like the video, hit that like button. If you are not subscribed, please subscribe. It's free, it's easy, and you can't beat that, right? And you'll help me get to my 1,000 subscriber goal. And I'll see you guys tomorrow, same time, same place, just a different reaction. Y'all be safe out there.